automatic discounts, or call them at 866-762-9238. That's 866-762-9238. You can also go to their website at www.enerfood.com. That's E-N-E-R, F like Frank, O-O-D like dog.com. Enerfood.com. A big thank you to all of our listeners already taking the products that Ener Health offers. We truly appreciate it. We thank you for your support and encourage you to listen often to stay informed during these crucial times.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hawk coming to you. It's Friday, 5/24/2013. Live show as live as you're ever going to get. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I just have to go right to the Lord here because he's going to tell you exactly what's going on. And one thing I'd like to talk about just a little bit before just as an intro, is that when you look at Matthew 24 and what the Lord Jesus says in the red letters, all right? And he says there, for then, this is verse 21, Matthew 24, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Now I'll point out to you that when we read Paul and various letters, I don't know if Paul always, and I'm not disagreeing with Paul either, but when I read the Lord Jesus, I see something a little bit different there, because in the times of Paul, what's getting ready to happen now had never happened since the beginning of the world, nor ever shall be. So I don't know if Paul is always giving advice. And don't get me wrong, I like Paul. But what I am saying is the Lord Jesus said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So this is the first time that it's ever happened. It's going to be like this, and there won't be again. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And then when you go to what the Lord says, and basically he says it in Luke 21, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Yeah, but then when somebody turns off the GOES, half of the GOES satellite system, whether it was an ASAT weapon from China, or whether the powers that be, the Lucy High Cabal, giving orders to the Joker Tut, Lizard, or whoever, turn off that satellite to where now they have to use one of the GOES satellites to give you a more complete weather picture. Well, you're not going to get the resolution of what's coming in the weather quite as easily, nor, get this, nor will you be able to detect the patterns where HARP or other scalar type weaponry have been used to generate storms or to create energy sinks or to heat the atmosphere, ionospheric heaters. You will not be able to notice it quite as easily and see how it works, nor see the squares, or will you even notice the things unless you're out looking at the sky and you see like certain weird clouds and you see where the tunneling lasers and the things come in to an area. So and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful signs and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed, both by parents and brethren, and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you they shall cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not an hair on your head perish, because in your patience possess ye your souls. But you see, your body can be put to death, but you see, you in a perfected body or in your soul, not a hair in your head is going to perish, because in your patience possess ye your souls.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and to let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter in thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you see, when you get into that, you start to see some things, because Paul did not even know about this matter other than what Jesus told them, and the rest of the disciples. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there would be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake these days shall be shortened. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we do have wars, rumors of war. We have the earthquakes in diverse places. And I will tell you what, isn't it interesting with the GOES satellites, you cannot tell the resolution of what's going on and all of the workings of the HAARP or 71 other HAARP-like devices worldwide that are in control or partially controlled by the ultra-black U.S. government areas and the ultra-black part of the U.S. government military. And those correspond to the 72 goetic demons. Steve found this in his research a couple of years ago, where he saw that. And so the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, is that are they using the HAARP? Are they using other scalar weaponry, other energy-type weapons, electromagnetic weapons, sonic weapons, laser weapons, nuclear devices, etc., etc., etc.? Are they using that to create 7.4 quakes in Fiji, 8.2 quakes in the Sakhalin Islands, double 5.7s with 20 or so aftershocks around Sacramento? But those don't show up. All those aftershocks are not showing up on the USGS. Why are they not showing up on the USGS? So what's going on? 20-some quakes since a few days ago in Arkansas? Well, those would be on feeder lines, and that would feed into the New Madrid. That would be on the edge of the New Madrid. That would energy being pumped in. And recall in Arkansas, as dear Sue Bradley, I know you're looking down from heaven. Dear Sue, you remember when we used to talk about all of the crystals inside of Arkansas and how they were loading the crystals up? And boy, I'll tell you, we sure had that right. They're doing it again. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that there are TR-4s and TR-3s up. One of them was up over Washington State earlier today. A TR-4, which is a spacecraft larger than a triangular-shaped TR-3B. You might liken it to more of the fact of a fighter in a TR-3B compared to a Carillion-class, destroyer, like, or a larger bomber type thing, a much bigger spacecraft. And then have you seen all of the reports of armor moving? The armor and moving, and I saw the pictures and things of all the armor in Gonzales, going by in Gonzales, Louisiana. Thousands and thousands and thousands of tanks and armored vehicles passing by in a rail car, Gonzales, Louisiana. I've been down through there many a time. Used to go down there, used to sometimes hang out on the old Amite River. For all you people in the Louisiana, you know where that'd be at. Benanitas. Used to lean over anyway. But that's been many moons ago, many suns ago. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. The fact is, something is being prepared here. And with this economy, and tonight, Steve Quayle and V are going to be on Hagman and Hagman. V begged Steve to get him on tonight because he has to come out and tell everything else he's just found out and how far this is going to be taken and how all this is going to go. I'm just going to give you a little hint, because they know how many calories you're going to be able to eat, depending upon whether your allegiance lies with something or the other. Yeah, you heard that right. You going to get health care? Oh, well, we got to see, don't we? You going to have a job? Well, you may not have anything to say about that. You're going to have to get tested like a Gattaca? That's my adding it in. Oh, well, you can't get Obamacare because you got the wrong stuff, so therefore we have to put you in the new pile of defectives. Maybe we should better just go ahead and have you killed, you see, and make Soylent Green and make way for your more perfected brothers. Oh, yes. You see how they're starting to think. Now, I'll tell you, I was listening to Daniel Estulin on Alex Jones the other day, and Alex was saying, well, Daniel, what do you hear about what's going to be talked about at the Bilderberg meeting, June 6th through the 9th, at the Grove in England? And he kind of went back to the Strategic Trends Report, the British Strategic Trends Report that came out 2007 to 2036, but that was based on a meeting that was an after meeting of the Bilderberg meeting, and it was held with a select number of people in a top secret area in a castle. And then basically in that they agreed. They made an agreement about the future of mankind. And then that report became the British Strategic Trends Report 2007 to 2036. And then if you look at what's going on today, there's a good article at Alex Jones' site, InfoWars. Eric Schmidt says Google artificial intelligence, AI, indistinguishable from humans within a decade. Google CEO Eric Schmidt has predicted that the company will be capable of developing AI for its programs that will be indistinguishable from a human being within 5 to 10 years. They've already got it. They've already got quantum computing, all these different things. And, IBM's Watson, and you remember they used to beat the chess champions, and they won Jeopardy. So here's the deal. But then you go into Ray Kurzweil, and then the Google CEO has previously discussed his desires, here he says, to swallow nanobots every morning that would regulate the functioning of his body, as well as sending his robotic clone to social functions. Well, I'll tell you what, maybe just like Skynet, maybe John Connor needs to come around right now and take care of Skynet, Maybe that's just the case. And then you got top futurist Ray Kurzweil. I've embraced Schmidt's vision and took it even further, writing that within decades, man will merge with machine. And by 2099, They'll do it before then. They're already doing it now. The entire planet will be run by artificially intelligent computer systems, which are smarter than the entire human race combined, similar to the Skynet system fictionalized in Terminator. Such predictions ally with Smith's drive to see them come to fruition make it all the more ominous that Kurzweil was hired by Google last year to oversee the company's project to produce an artificial brain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what they have planned for you. And that ties in with what the Bilderberg meeting is going to be about. They're going to decide what they're going to do and what's happening. And some of the basic things which we've talked about and have warned you and told you to prepare about for quite some time have been the possibility of major earthquakes and weather changes and things like that, nuclear holocaust, nuclear bombs, also biological weapons. I mentioned last night we got the mystery illness, which the CDC has studied and doesn't know what it's at. Yet at the first line of the story they say, one person tested positive for H1N1, but nobody had H7N9, the new Chinese bird flu that's being mutated and put out there to try to get it to be as deadly and as quickly acquired. In other words, efficiency as well as efficacy kind of things in terms of killing mankind, but at the same time making it a killing and a culling and a blood sacrifice that is sort of like, it looks like an act of God. Well, it'll be their little g God, their little g Lucifer, scum Lucifer. And what do we have going on here? We got all these troops moving. We got all these things going. Are they going to blow up the things with the earthquake weapons? Are they going to do the nuclear attack and maybe have a nuclear war in the Middle East? Take out Damascus? Is the Korean Peninsula going to blow too? Is Taiwan, or is Taiwan now going to already just go with Red China? Are they going to take our fleet out? And do we now know that most of our carrier groups are not out there anymore, and a lot of them are languishing because of the sequester? They cannot, in dry dock, they cannot rehab them or retrofit them or do all of the maintenance necessary, particularly on the nuclear reactors and all the things. So you see, the U.S. military has been totally destroyed. Only those portions of it that will swear Heil Obama, Heil Obama, Joker Tut, Sim Salabim, AC little g, Lucy, scum, whatever. Anybody that swears that, they get their funding. And it just calls question. Why at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the top brass there continually allow Russian troops to be brought in? Why at Fort Carson, they allow the Russian troops to be brought in? Why at Fort Hood, they allow the Russian troops to be brought in? Why at Benning, will they allow the Russian troops to be brought in, and Red Chinese in various places too? Why they're allowing them at all of the different bases and bringing them in and paying them, and why they're sitting out there in the Walmarts and the Sam's Clubs of the United States with pockets full of $100 bills in civilian clothes, just giggling and laughing up their sleeve that the mighty U.S. has brought them in to do what? To declare martial law on its own population and to kill. I urge you, ladies and gentlemen, that you go to stevequayle.com and that you go to his Dreams and Visions section, because I'll tell you what, you need to look at the Brother Bob prophecies that he put out, gave to Steve and Al Cuppett a number of years ago. And you look at the one, Martial Law and the Foreign Police, Brother Bob's Vision, Part 3. Steve has a caveat. Pray before reading and ask God to strengthen your heart. I'm telling you what, this is going to be, and he tells how they're going to use the red, blue colors, the different colors on the trucks and all this. And now we're starting to see the red armbands on the Iran Corporation Stability Force. You just put into a search engine and make sure it's not Google. make sure it's another search engine. Do not put it into Google. Do not Google it. And you look up RAND, Stability Police Force, 200-some page document. You can print it off. You can look it up and read it. Do you remember the things that I read to you in the past and that Greg Evans and I talked about? For instance, the document that you may want to look at here, Domestic Insurgency and the Declaration of Martial Law. Document is dated as of 12 October 2008. And this is the one where they talk about counterinsurgency. That means you're a counterinsurgent if you decide to stand for your constitutional rights or the rights of that the Lord has given you, okay, as enumerated by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And it's the one that talked about cordon and search and all of the things they're going to do to you. But you see, the fact of the matter is it's not to be afraid. It's to gain your strength from the Lord Jesus and our Father in heaven, and to gain your strength from that and to resist against these people. I'm telling you, you've got to stand up against it. And yes, we wrestle with principalities. Absolutely, we do. But I'm going to tell you, here is what I like to read. Here is what I like to go to and what I like to understand, you see. And if I go to, let me see where we're at here. Blah, 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 blah. I believe, let's see. Looking for it here. I've lost my place in the Bible right here, but no, here we go. So anyway, no, I don't have it. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. It's in Luke. I thought I was going to Matthew. It's in Luke 10, verse 19. Well, actually, let's go back a little bit. Here's what he says. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan, this is verse 18, as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. So behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And then I want to go back right over here right now. Let's go over what we've talked about before. And let's see. John 14, verse 10. Let's go to verse 9. Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and that the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto the Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. And if ye ask anything in my name, I will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, those are two powerful things that the Lord has given you. And I suggest to you that there are a number of enemy out there, serpents, scorpions, and overall the enemy. If they are an enemy of the Lord, if they want to subjugate you, then the Lord Jesus has given you power over them. You can trample them underfoot. Do you understand? This is not about lying down and letting goons and thugs and foreign troops steal your family away and rape your wives and your children or your husbands or whatever. This is not about them willy-nilly taking your house and taking all your goods, and you have to put up with it, because these are manifestations that have come about because of serpents, scorpions, because of Satan coming down, Lucifer coming down in the lightning. And I told you before, Flynn and Horn had it correct, 2012, Polyon Rising. And did you see the stuff where we have problems over at Mount the other day? Yeah, on the Golan, up there at the corner of the Golan. You see, there's stuff underground in that mountain. And he who controls that may just, in fact, control a lot of other interesting little things. So this is fixing to get, like the old hawk would say, like it's going to go wild weasel, and it's going to go that way pretty doggone quick. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you better get with it real fast, because you need the water purification. You need the food. You need the medical supplies. You need the things like the inner food, which incidentally is on sale. The inner food in the storage pack, the sealed packs, where you can stack them on top of each other and store them. With 2 shakes of inner food, you've got most all the nutrients you need for an entire day. Extra discounts when you talk to them at Inner Health Botanicals or innerfood.com, innerfood.com, or you can call them up. You tell them Hawk sent you, and you get extra money off. But you better get with it, and you better start doing it quickly. And here we've got reports now. McCord Air Force Base, Washington State. Steve, he's writing, I've seen large numbers of flights of military transport jets coming into cities around the country. I live near McCord in Washington State. I've been seeing several squadrons of transport C-17. I've noticed lately that the air traffic has increased from the normal. Recently saw a 7-plane formation approaching the field, which is highly unusual. There is no noticeable increase in ground traffic, though. He said, I would associate with troop movements. Though he said, add this notice to the increasing number coming in. Yeah, thank you, John. You betcha. And then here's one that's very interesting right here. This is from TL. The Air National Guard around here has been doing maneuvers lately that are not normal. They're not just practicing the usual ready alertness. Last night they put on a pretty good air show above the city that lasted quite some time. Is anyone else noticing around the country seeing the same thing with I've noticed several C-130 transport flying in and out of Joe Foss Field, Sioux Falls, South Dakota National Air Guard. The maneuvers these aircraft are making are not normal. Please get recording traffic. We'll be back in a minute, ladies and gentlemen, because I'll tell you something. Somebody is getting ready to declare martial law in this country, and they're coming for you to give you a haircut and to take all that you got and to put your family into the camps.
With natural and man-made disasters and economic turmoil, if we don't get well prepared, we will most certainly regret it. Good readiness must include storage of high-quality food that will build us up rather than tear us down. Much of the storable food available is full of bad fats, salt, sugar, nutrient-poor refined foods, and even MSG. In response, Inner Health Botanicals has created our 40-day and 40-night 100% organic preparedness pail. It's GMO-free and has a 10 to 20 year shelf life if stored at 60 degrees or less. Some of the items need cooking, some can be eaten dry, while some can be soaked and sprouted. These are selling out fast at third the price of storable food packages. Call us at 866-762-9238. That's 866-762-9238. Or go to enerfood.com, ENERFOOD.com. 866-762-9238. Or go to ENERFOOD.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hawk, Friday night, 5/24/2013, the year of the snake. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, they do have a special, as I told you earlier, on the Interfood vacuum seals, and they're for storing, so you can store a lot of them in a tighter spot. They're $39.95, and then you can also get extra quantity discounts, and then you tell them you want the Hawk discount on top of everything. And I'll tell you what, you've also got a special. They've got the NutriCafe coffee on sale for $9. And so I'll tell you what, get all of it you can while you can. Buy as much food for long-term storage, as much nutritional items like the Interfood. You need to get the herbal tinctures to be able to work with yourself and heal yourself. If you go to the website at interfood.com and you click onto the herbal tincture section and you read all of the information, you just cannot believe all of the information there. Get whatever it is you're able to get. Get it now and get going on it. And resign yourself that there is getting to be a major call or move as the scandals that where the Lord is revealing all of the evil and corruption of this government of the United States, of the Joker Tut Lizard and all his crew, how they're coming after Christians, coming after Jewish people, coming after conservatives, constitutionalists, anybody who believes in freedom, anybody who is not willing to swear Sieg Heil type allegiance to the Joker Tut Lizard. And you think I'm telling you wrong? Well, let me tell you something. They make them say it now in the military. And if you don't say it, it's just like we said last night. We hadn't anybody deny or confirm it, but yesterday we had deep background information that some event may have happened at Benning where Department of Human Sacrifice scumbag Nazi goons went after some personal firearms and ammunition of U.S. Army personnel or military personnel there on the base in Benning. Now, we can't confirm that independently, but I'll tell you what, something's getting ready to go on, and you'd better be willing to stand for the Lord and stand for your family and stand for the Bill of Rights and Constitution. Stand up for America against any kind of tyranny. Not only it is your right, it is your duty to do so. Who says it's your duty to do so? The Declaration of Independence. They cannot argue with this. The Lord said, Luke 21, I'll give you a mouth and some wisdom, okay? That even your enemies will not be able to gainsay against it. Declaration of Independence. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. And believe me, they will not be, the new guards will not be Department of Human Sacrifice. They will not be fiddle with boys internally. They will not be EIEIO, CIA, DIA, nor will they be necrophiliac Shiite arses. You understand? New guards, new guards, new guards. They will not be the corrupt local police who go along with whatever it is that the feds say to do. and who now are wearing and taking the extra pay in many departments. And then not only that, but ordered around by these special liaison officers from the Ukraine or from Russia or from Singapore or Hong Kong or wherever it might be, or Bulgaria or whatever, hands across the water, you know, and yet they report specially directly to the chief, now don't they? And they get extra pay and you don't. Well, why don't you get on the bandwagon and swear allegiance to Obama? Oh, yes. Well, you'd better get out there, policeman. You'd better quit worrying about speeding tickets and this, that, and the other, and give your fellow citizens a break and keep the peace. Keep the peace. That's all that you really should be doing right now. But they got you working revenue, or they got you carving up jackpots if you're in the right big city, you know. You got to work this guy over at the Greek restaurant to give you the cut, you know, give you a little more money for the bag for the widow and orphans. You know, I understand all of this. So when you cops call in and tell me to quit my rants, I know a lot of cops. I know a lot of them. Known them in Chicago. I've known them in New York. I've known them in Philadelphia. I've known them in the old Southern Illinois. I've known them in Louisiana. I've known them all over in the Midwest. Some in the western areas. Some are real good. And when they're bad, they're real bad generally. Well, they might be fun, but I'm just telling you, you've got to understand, good, bad, and different. You've got to get on the side of the people like you once were. You are not military. You're civilians too. You are civilians too, police. You should be peace officers. And you should love the fact that your brothers still trust you at all, you know, that your neighbors still trust you, you know, and don't revile you. Because I'll tell you what, the minute you go along, and they're going to hold your families in pawn and in check, and that same Ukrainian guy, or that same Russian guy, or Bulgarian, or whoever your little liaison man is, or your gung-ho, steroid-headed, you know, get the extra paycheck from the feds, red armband, red team, federal deputized of the Hootenanny and the Swahilis, okay? You'd better understand that it's going to be him that's going to be in charge of your family. And so you'd better get out of it real quick. Same goes for people in the mail rooms of all the post offices, all of the different things. And then I was getting that last night. We got a lot of information from somebody who, they met somebody alongside the road somewhere out west for just a short little conversation. And that somebody told the person I was heard it from that at the very latest, a full-blown containment of the entire United States under total martial law at the very latest time would be by, say, the end of June, early July 2014. However, they said it could happen sooner, and I submit to you, with the right combination of events, and maybe they know about it, or maybe that the powers that be, the Illuminati, will cause the quakes and the weather and all of the things and the nuclear and the biological releases that will force from one way or the other, or in a combination of all of those, force the martial law in the United States and basically all over the world, and they will start their killing and the culling, and the blood will run for their little g god, Lucifer. And how can you sit there at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and how can you say you're defending America when you're bringing in Russian troops? How can you, in a position at Wright-Patterson, okay, say that you're defending America when you're bringing in Russian troops after Russian troops after Russian troops? How can you say that? Well, we understand that you had a little problem grooving him in, didn't you, with the American troops? You had a little gunplay. And then you shut your base down. And now you're trying to hammer every door and window shut and every this, that, and the other, and you don't want anybody talking and all of this. Why? Because you got secrets, buddies. Little big buddies. You got secrets over there that are not good. You got secrets that stem from Lucifer. All right? and the orders that are given to you through those who worship Lucifer. And they're going to be there to provide stability to the federal government. Well, the federal government is trampling on the First Amendment rights, right to freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, right to assembly and petition for redress of grievances. They're stepping on the Second Amendment. Shall not be infringed. Do you not understand that? And you want to come against America? Well, you're going to get froggy? You're going to get your drones out? We understand you had a little Air Force drone or something over Kalispell, Montana. Knocked out half the power to the town, didn't you? In a little test of EMP weapon or something. Knocked out half the power to the town, or you just, hacked the computers and shut it down, didn't you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, your government declared you in 1917 in the Trading with the Enemy Act. And you can get Black's Law Dictionary, and you can go through and you can read it and find the terms, and you will find that the United States government declared its citizens basically to be enemies of the state in 1917, and then in 1933 in the Trading with the Enemy Act in 1917 as amended, 1933, otherwise known as the Emergency Powers Act. And you can look it up and redefine it and do all the things. And check it out. You'll get there. That basically we've been an executive dictatorship since 1933, and that every single president has continued it, and only the president can rescind and return to a peace, return to a normal state of affairs. So when you tell me that I'm going to quit ranting, I'm going to scream it to the high heavens so that the Lord will hear us, and that he will hear our pleas, and that he will come as soon as he possibly can, and that he will send his angels to grab up these workers of iniquity, grab up these tares, and throw them into the fiery furnace and burn them with the plasma fire forever, continually. And at the very least, if you're out there in the midst of preparing, find out where your senator or your representative, congressional rep, is going to be over the holidays. If you can go to the meeting. If not, you know somebody else is going, tell them to ask them the question. But by all means, tell them this. You tell them that you need to have special prosecutors on Benghazi, special prosecutors in congressional hearings both on Benghazi, on the IRS scandal. You need to tell them that basically the Fast and Furious needs to be looked into, because I submit to you and I allege that the Joker Tut Lizard gave the orders on all of that stuff. And he was probably given those orders by Illuminati bankers and other high personalities in the Luciferian world. And no doubt a few Russians and Red Chinese and Wahhabi kings of Saudi Arabia who like to deposit money in his account, allegedly. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is done and gone. And yeah, you still are maybe playing, ball. You still may be going to the mall. You still may, doing this, that, and the other. But there will always be some economy, There'll always be something, even under Hitler and under Stalin. There was some economy, wasn't there? There was still some frivolity even. Some sport. But the fact is, you're either going to be free or you're not going to be free. And I'm going to tell you what, I love the Lord, and he will direct you where he wants you and where he needs you to be. If you not are into the fight and can't fight necessarily, then you can be into logistics. You can be into planning. You can be into transportation. You can be into providing places for those being chased, those good people of the Lord, to hide. Because I'll tell you what, when the Lord comes back, we had better have something to say for it and to hold some ground for him to where we didn't give over the entire planet to these Luciferian scum who just want to take it all because they think they are the enlightened ones. They think they are the ones that should inherit the earth. Well, they are not the ones that are going to inherit the earth. They're not at all. And I don't know if you knew it, ladies and gentlemen, but tonight again, I'm just going to let you know you better listen to V and Steve Quayle on Hagman and Hagman Show. You go to stevequayle.com. SteveQuayle.com. You can click through. You can go to the main section of the stories and click through where V and Steve are going to be there. And here's a topic about this situation here. On May 14th, financial analyst, former head trader of the Royal Bank of Scotland, spoke on Hagman and Hagman. This is a story about V and about Steve being on Hagman and Hagman, labeling himself the guerrilla economist. And basically what they're saying is that what V said came to pass, okay? And there's all kind of people saying that V and Steve are leading the pack and getting the information out. The fact is they are. And Doug and Joe doing a good job to get them on and do that. So the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're sitting here and we got a very short period of time. Let's see, I just got a report. 8 C-130s are due in this evening to Springfield, Ohio, Air National Guard Base, coming from Alaska. And that's not that far from Wright Pat, is it? Springfield, Ohio, where the little Dutch cruisers were at, too. The Danish fighter jets were at, on our soil. So 8 C-130s are due this evening to the Springfield, Ohio Air National Guard Base. And I just wonder if they might have Russian troops coming in on them or some other foreign troops. Wouldn't that be very interesting to see? And if that's the fact, then maybe somebody at Springfield, Ohio Air National Guard Base can just question one or two of them Russians. Because we hear they're having a little trouble grooving them Russians and other foreign troops in with the American troops. I wonder why, when the American troops' fathers and grandfathers and mothers and sisters and daughters are going to be under the subjugation of these dadgum mongrel Spetsnaz and Russian paratroopers and Red Chinese, and they're going to be given full tilt boogie orders to do whatever they had to do to subjugate, and they're going to send you to the camps. They're going to take your house, and if you ask them 2 questions, which is, you ask them any questions at all, they're just going to pop you in the head and leave you dead on the ground while they take your children, and they take your wife and grandma and everybody with you and throw them into a camp, and then they take your house, all your goods. And then the bank will give them your money because, the banks are all aligned with these people, too. So you got nothing left to lose, you see. And then the truth of the matter is you should believe in Jesus and believe in Him. And you're going to be able to do mighty things and mighty works. And then I'll tell you something. Before we go off, maybe we should just read old Psalm 91. I know some good friends of mine like that one. You betcha. Hello to Linda J. and a whole lot of people. And incidentally, if you would like some dynamite knives that will not, wither in the face of a piece of hard bone when you're finding to stick it in there on the old elk, so to speak, or deer, you go to sharpsaddles.com, sharpsaddles.com. You can also find their tremendous leather ammo pouches, old-timey canteens, all kind of cool stuff. And if you got a saddle, you got horses, and I would urge people, if you got horses, you better get all your saddle and tack set up, and Clay Sharp will get you fixed up. Because he's an old-time cowboy, and he knows his, he knows his Latigo from his hootenannies, if you understand what I mean. Builds a fine quality product. So Psalm 91, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. And surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. And he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler, and thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. And there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels in charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways, and they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. And thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder. Let me repeat that, verse 13, Psalm 91. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon me, and therefore I will deliver him, and I will set him on high, because he hath known my name, and he shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Ladies and gentlemen, the power of the Lord is just tremendous. The Word is what you need to get into. And get into it as quickly as you can, and get your children into it. Read from the Bible tonight. I would just beg you to do so. Go to Matthew 24. Go to Luke 21. Read what's coming. Tell your family what's coming. Tell them to prepare and to get ready, and to trust in the Lord, and not to be afraid. Because we also said that he gave you the power over serpents and scorpions, and that you'll trample on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon, and the power over all the enemy. And I'll tell you what, the promise, though, is that even if your body was to be killed and shuffle off your mortal coil in one of these catastrophes, weather catastrophes, quake catastrophes, nuclear war, biological, or if you're just going to be questioned by the FBI and they want to put 2 bullets in your brain pan because you winked at them, okay? Because the little lawyer in the NBA boy with his FBI 40 cal, he's used to fiddling with boys internally. So if somebody says, go fish, they're going to put 2 in your brain pan. Or even if you're in the FBI, maybe you're in the FBI and you did a good job and you caught the CIA boys who blew up the bombs in Boston. You didn't catch the others that were in the craft or the academy or whoever the heck it was in the tan pants, the black shirts, who also had backpacks with bombs and pressure cookers. And we're testing radiation immediately thereafter. And of course, they left their backpacks there too. And of course, the people remember all the police stories. They couldn't go into that area, the Boston cops said, because there was a whole bunch of black backpacks that they had to blow. And then you remember there's also something that they had to blow over at the library. So people tend to forget all of that, and you people in the FBI, you better understand that if you know about some of this stuff, you're going to have a training accident from a helicopter at Quantico. So they're going to kill you. The Luciferians are going to kill you. You police, they're going to kill you. They'll have the Russians or the Ukrainians do it for them. And if you don't test up and swear allegiance to the Joker Tut Lizard and the little G God Lucifer and the whole 9 yards, then believe you me, you're going to be dead beat. It's the blue. You're on the blue list. After you turn traitor, if you're going to, and if you turn traitor, or even if you resist, they're going to try to kill you too. But even if you turn traitor, they're not going to respect you for turning a traitor and be the Judenrat, who ratted out your own fellow Jews or your own fellow Christians or your own. You get the point. Remember, I've talked to you about the Warsaw Ghetto and how Bloomberg and Feinstein are operating much like the Judenrats. They're taking away the guns. They want to disarm you because they want to steal everything you got, rape you, and subjugate you and kill you for blood sacrifice. So you understand where you need to be and what you need to start doing. And maybe somebody at the Springfield, Ohio Air National Guard base this evening can take pictures of the HC-130s and who uploads from them. Maybe that would be good. Or if there's Russians coming in, maybe you ought to just ask them damn Russians what the heck they think they're doing on Buckeye soil in America. And are they going to come for your grandparents? Maybe you ought to just ask them that. Good night to the mighty men and women of valor. I know that you're doing the best you can. I know that you're compromised in these days and that your funds are curtailed. But if you have the power and the ability to do so, the Lord will allow you to take out the Luciferians where they sit. Them old Fandango Rangers, I know you're ready. Biggie LaPua, I know you got it dialed in, baby. You got a cool smile on your face. And that good scope will take you out there. Good long distance. Don't go into their Luciferian night without a fight. Stand for the Lord Jesus. Listen to Steve Quayle and Dean tonight on Hagman and Hagman. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.